If you are looking for a Prebuilt PC, trust me guys, this is the right time to buy one. There are some huge deals on the market that I would like to share with you on this video for every single budget. And especially if you're working with a high budget, I recommend you staying until the number one because I think it's the best deal and you end up saving $1,000. But I will get to that later. First, I want to say that you will have every single budget on this video and every single PC will be featured in the description. And don't worry if you're a beginner to gaming PCs, I will explain what each of these PCs are capable of running and at which resolution. That being said, let's start. So with the first one, this one is actually not on a deal, but it's the cheapest one that I would recommend you getting if you want a functional system. We have an MXC gaming PC from Amazon. This one has the RX 580 with 16 gigs of RAM and a Ryzen 3 4100. Just because it's going for $570, it's actually not a bad deal. You also get good airflow, overall a nice system for 1080p low settings gaming. So yeah, don't expect anything crazy out of this, but if you only play games like Valorant and CSGO or even GTA 5 at 1080p, then this system is actually not a bad option considering you're saving a ton of money. With the next one, we have a $700 system in the HP Victus 15L. This one is on a $200 discount and I highly recommend you this system because it comes with the latest i5 13400 alongside the GTX 1660 Super. This graphics card has 6 gigs of VRAM, which is not the best, but honestly for 1080p gaming it's going to be enough for most games. You also get 8 gigs of RAM, but you get it on dual channel, meaning that it's 2 sticks of 4 gigs, so you will not be hurting your performance. However, if you have a bit of extra money within this price range, I recommend you clicking on customize and buy, changing 8 gigs of RAM for 16 gigs, and then going with at least 500 gigs of SSD. This will make your multitasking and gaming experience better, but also you will get more storage. If you don't do any upgrade though, this system is pretty capable of 1080p gaming any game, 60+ FPS on average, of course depending on the settings, and then you can play esports titles such as CSGO, Valorant, Fortnite at above 144 FPS. So if you have a 144Hz 1080p monitor, you can take advantage of your performance pretty well. With the next one, we have another 15L, but this time you do not need to upgrade anything, and I think it's the best value PC on this video. And the reason why I think that is because you're spending just under $1,000 and you're getting a Ryzen 7 5700G alongside the RX 6600 XT. This is a much better GPU than any other GPU I've mentioned so far, and this one is not only capable of 1080p gaming, but is also capable of 1440p. You will get the highest FPS for 1080p, trust me, there's literally no game that you can't run at ultra settings on this system for 1080p, but you can also do some 1440p gaming. Depending on your game, 1440p will be really easy to run. If you're thinking of playing games like I mentioned before, easy to run titles, 1440p is definitely possible. Then you get 16 gigs of RAM, so no need for an upgrade, a terabyte of hard drive alongside 500 gigs of SSD, so you get plenty of storage here, to be honest, nothing to really worry about here. But if you want to upgrade something in the future, maybe upgrade the SSD or the RAM if you want 32 gigs, which by the way is not necessary for gaming. With the next one, we have one from Amazon for around $1,300, is on a 23% discount. We are talking about the Lenovo Legion Tower 5i. This one has the RTX 3070 and the i7 12700F alongside 16 gigs of RAM and 1 TB of SSD. The RTX 3070 is a 1440p GPU. You can also use it for 1080p high FPS, but it's more of a 1440p mid-range gaming GPU. It's going to be a better option than the RX 6600 XT, so if you want higher FPS and you're willing to spend around $300 more, this one is the one to go with. You also get a better CPU in the i7 12700F, so if you're playing CPU intensive games, this will make a huge difference. With the next one, just for around $100 more expensive, you can get this Skytech Nebula from their website with the i5 12400F and the RTX 4070. The RTX 4070 is one of the latest GPUs from Nvidia, and on the Prebuilt PC market, honestly, is a great GPU. In my opinion, you will not find any other PC with better performance at this price point on the whole Prebuilt PC market. You can run every single game at 1440p. The RTX 4070 is designed for 1440p high FPS gaming, so yes, even the high demanding games you can run them with no issues, but you can also play at 4K. It's not going to be the best 4K gaming experience considering you have the RTX 4080 out there or the RTX 4090, but it does a pretty good job considering the price. Also, the RTX 4070 doesn't consume power, so if you want to save money on your electricity bill, trust me, this PC is the one to go with. Not only you save money on your system, because it's actually a pretty good value one, but you also save money in the future. You also get 1TB of SSD and 16 gigs of RAM alongside a 600 watt 80 plus volt power supply, because you don't need more than this for the RTX 4070. With the next one we have the Azure 2. This one comes with the Ryzen 7 5700X and the RTX 4070 Ti. Now below this Skytech website page you can see the FPS average at 1440p for a couple titles, but I wanna say that this PC is also capable of 4K gaming, just like the RTX 4070 one, but here you're getting more FPS because you get the RTX 4070 Ti. And for 1440p, this is a beast of a GPU. I actually have this one on my current PC build and I've made a video about the benchmarks, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch it in the top right of the screen. But if you're looking for the highest FPS at 1440p, this one is the correct one. I wouldn't spend more money for 1440p gaming because I think the 4070 Ti is the limit for 1440p. The price for this system is $1,900, so it's quite expensive, but honestly, comparing it with other Prebuilt PCs on the market is not actually as expensive. With the next one, we have a 4K gaming system, and the last two are going to be 4K PCs because, like I said before, the 4070 Ti is the limit for 1440p. So for $2,400, you are actually saving $500 on this system, which is huge. You get the RTX 4080 alongside the Ryzen 5 7600X. The RTX 4080 is a great 4K gaming GPU. You can run every single game with no issues, and you get the Ryzen 5 7600, which makes it easier for future upgradability. So if you want a platform that will support future generations of CPUs, this one is the right one, and you also get 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5 memory. So if you want to do streaming, content creation, 32 gigs of RAM is nicer than 16 gigs. You also get a terabyte of Gen 4 NVMe SSD. And with the last one, and the best one in my opinion, we have the Omen 45L for $3,000. Yes, it's quite expensive, but it was $4,000 before. You end up saving $1,000, and on this one you have maxed out specifications. You have the RTX 4090, which is the best GPU on the market, and the i9 13900K, which is one of the fastest CPUs on the market, not only for gaming but also for content creation. Since this one has the best GPU on the market, you can run everything at 4K on the highest settings, on the highest FPS possible out there. And to put you in perspective, if you want a 4090 Prebuilt PC from other brands, let's say you want it from Skytech, you can get the Eclipse one. The cheapest RTX 4090 would be $3,800. You would be spending $800 more for the same performance. Another option would be the Creator PC, for example, from iBuyPower, that is going for $3,600. So yes, if you want a 4090 system with other PC companies, you would be spending at least $600 more. One thing I want to say is that both the Skytech one and the iBuyPower one have 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16 gigs. But guys, this is an easy upgrade that is going to cost you literally $40 or so. So let's say you add the RAM yourself, you spend $40 to $60 extra max, and the total price will be around $3,040. I think that is an insane deal considering how expensive RTX 4090 PCs are, especially on the Prebuilt PC market. You also get a terabyte of hard drive and a terabyte of SSD, so 2 terabytes total. I've tested an Omen 45L last year, and trust me, they are really reliable systems. I've tested it at 1440p and I've had no issues with it, so this is a PC that I feel comfortable recommending it to you, and you will have the link to this one and all of the ones that I mentioned in the video description. I hope that when you're watching this video, this deal is still on, because by the time that I'm recording this video is on a Wednesday and this video is supposed to be out on Friday. So if it's not on sale anymore, it's going to be a shame, because I actually want you to buy this system if you have a high-end budget, and even on a PC build, $3,000 for a 4090 is not that bad. Talking about PC builds, for other budgets, let's say $1,500, $1,000, you can get way better performance for the price. For that reason, I recommend you watching my video about the top 3 PC builds of the month. You will have it in the top right of the screen. So if you're willing to build it yourself, you're gonna get better price to performance systems. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.